I'm Brittany, and I'm a TBI survivor, and a member of Bind, too.
And hi, I'm Carrie, a stroke survivor and a member of Bind as well. And today we get to welcome back Lori Vorber. I know I said it wrong, but y'all will figure it out. You may remember her from last season. We talked with her about her personal stroke story, how she advocates for new survivors, and her journey to becoming a published author, plus much more. She happens to be back in town, so we wanted to catch up with her and see what's going on. So here we go. Welcome back, Lori.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Welcome to Bindwaves, the official podcast of the Brain Injury Network of Dallas. I'm Brian White, Bind's Executive Director. On each episode, we'll be providing insight into the brain injury community. We'll be talking to members and professionals regarding their stories and the important role of Bind's Clubhouse. We work as a team to inspire hope, community, and a sense of purpose to survivors, caregivers, and the public. Thank you for tuning into Bindwaves. Let's get on with the show.
Okay, so since we last saw you, just tell us a little bit about how life has been since then.
Yes.
I know you've been busy.
I have been busy. So I continue to write. When I was here the last time, I shared my journeyed a little bit with you guys, my book choices, which came out in 2022. I continue to write as a compilation author. My 10th compilation just published this year, in fact, last month. I'm doing a lot of speaking, both at retreats and in churches, but I'm very active in Arizona, where I live, in the stroke community. I think it's really important to take what we've gone through and give back. That's why I love your organization and what you do here at Bind. I look at where we have come from. We all have different stories and different places that we've come from and different journeys, but we all have the same medical challenge in the fact that everything changed in the blink of an eye, and we can never go back, but we can go forward. And that's really the message I have for my stroke community. And I've learned so much on my own journey about the importance of grief and loss, and that's really what my newest journey in the past 6 months has been. Is I worked so hard originally on physical challenges and physical recovery, but I didn't realize the importance of the emotional recovery and how important that is in our recovery journey.
Yeah. Knowing that stroke recovery is a lifelong journey and the therapy is lifelong doing it, how do you encourage others that this journey won't give them hope, peace, or success?
I have found so much in my new normal, but I did realize that, just jumping into therapy and having the goals of the physical recovery with the expectation that I was going to make a full recovery was not the right approach. It is important to stay in therapy and to be active. And I'm still in therapy even 22 years later, 2 days a week. And so it is a lifelong journey, and you don't think at the beginning it's going to be. But I have found so much hope, joy, and new success in my new normal. But that comes with really realizing that you did have a loss and grieving through that loss. For me, I was 29 when I had my hemorrhagic stroke, and I had the loss of dreams, the loss of biological children, the loss of a career. And we all have losses, whether it's a medical challenge or other kinds of challenges. And I think it's not a sign of weakness to recognize that grief and that loss, but just to process it so that you can move forward in a healthy manner, get the emotional support you need to move forward, and to realize that you're not stuck within your disability. And your disability is not a source of your identity. It's just who you are. And you can have just as much happiness and joy within your new normal. It's just a different perspective change.
No, and I agree with that. You're saying new normal. And new normal was a term that I heard a lot in the very beginning. And a lot of the members here around Bind have heard. And a lot of people do not like that term. I mean, I didn't like it when it first started. And then you talk about the grief and grieving. And when I realized that after my stroke, I had to use the same grieving techniques that you do when you lose a family member. You go through all those same stages. And once I accepted that and worked my way through those stages, I could then accept my new normal. And if you read my Facebook profile, it says living my best second life, because that's exactly where I am today.
Yes, yes. I went through actually Grief Share at my church,
Okay.
a 13-week program, and several people were very surprised that I would choose to go that route because most people consider Grief Share for someone that has lost a spouse or a family member. But it helped me so much just to wrap my arms around the grieving process and even to watch how other people grieve and how and reflect on the process and just to recognize uh, the way we all process our losses.
Right. And I think that's what most people don't get is, like you said, most people are grieving the loss of someone. Well, as you said, you you lost, your independency, your career, your ability to have children. I was the same way. I was 38. I was independent. I was on my way up the corporate ladder. I had lots of plans, lots of ambitions. That person died
Yes.
when I had a stroke. So I did have to grieve the loss of a loved one. Unfortunately, it was part of me. Now, that part of me is still in here, but it's manifested in a different way now.
Absolutely. And we take what, a lot of my passion comes from my faith. Everybody has their own passion, their own drive, their own perseverance. I think we take that and we have to move forward. My old life, my old passions didn't die. They just came alongside my challenges, and my challenges truly have come alongside my purpose. I always say that, you can either get stuck in your challenges and just sit at home, or you can use them for opportunities. I have found so many great opportunities combining my background in marketing and sales and customer service with the challenges that I've gone through. And it just becomes a great passion and purpose.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So how would you so you mentioned everyone has a disability or a limp or something noticeable or something not noticeable. So how do you like don't lose your true identity? Can you explain what you mean by this? Your quote, like, our disabilities don't define us, so don't lose your true identity with your stroke recovery.
Oh, yes. So for a long time, I feel like I was in a bit of a bubble. And by that, I just was very protected. Right after my stroke, I worked very hard to recover, did therapy almost as a full-time job. And then we chose to adopt three children, 8 years post-stroke, in order to start our family from Colombia, South America. And that was a beautiful journey of blessings and challenges, but it fulfilled my ability to be a mom. But it was when I became an author and then decided motivational speaker that my world opened up again. And I realized that in so many cases, I couldn't keep up with my peers. And many times my heart and my passions and my body don't keep in sync. And I just can't do all the things that I want to do. My body just will not allow me to. And I find that I started feeling less than. And, that's what I really started analyzing. I'm not less than because of my disability. It's just where I am in life. And so I don't want anyone else that maybe has a physical disability to ever start thinking that is their identity and that they are less than, because you are not. It's not your identity of who you truly are. Um, your true identity is who God created you to be. It's your personality. It's who you are giving, who you are as a person. What we can do and what we can't do, that's just part of our body and what our body allows us to do. Those who don't have a physical disability, and I have friends that are in the same situation that I am, and I have many friends that aren't. And those that aren't in our same situation don't understand that from the minute we get out of bed to the minute we go to bed, I am always on, as you probably are, in awareness. I mean, every step I take has to be with caution. Every crack in the road is with awareness of falling, and I am always keenly aware of my surroundings and how I'm feeling. I have epilepsy from the stroke, so I'm always having to be aware. Am I getting too tired? Am I feeling okay? And most people that don't have medical challenges just go about their normal day, and they don't have to worry about these things. And so I've just learned so much about reflection and processing and being just aware of people around you. And I think so many people are so busy on their phones, and they're not trying to be unaware on purpose. They just aren't. And so I just encourage others to take a step back and just be more aware of those around you. I've learned that it takes just a moment to deliver kindness, and kindness and encouragement is our free gift to one another. It truly is. And again, that quote and what I was trying to get at is just from my own personal experience of realizing, um, you know, we don't have control over a lot of the challenges we go through, but what we have a choice in is our reaction to our circumstances, and that's where our control is. I think a lot of people that go through tough medical challenges, whether it's a TBI, a stroke, or cancer, or another devastating disease, they feel out of control. But truly, we always have a choice in our reaction.
Yeah, my reaction is when you were talking about grief earlier and accepting it. I know, to be honest, I haven't really accepted it and I haven't grieved or really processed my brain injury. It's like me kind of ignoring it.
Yes.
And I always tell people it's the one injury I can't escape from because it's my brain. So
Yes.
no matter how hard, I guess I need to accept it though, but still. But then also, I've been thinking lately, I've been talking to people, and people have been encouraging me. And so now, in my mind, right now, I have a little motto like, oh, at first I thought my brain injury ruined my life. Like it ruined everything, my plans, but now I just have to think about it. I get to reimagine my life.
Yes,
So that's
I
kind of
love that.
my
I
motto
love that.
now.
I love that. Yes. And it takes time. It's a journey. Yes.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm 22 years into it, so you just have to give yourself time and realize that, you have from now until the day you die to figure it out.
Right.
So,
No, and I was laughing when you were talking about other people just need to be aware. Just people are always looking at their phone. Well, I'm just thinking. I mean, y'all all know, everyone knows I'm a hockey fan. I go to the Stars games. Well, so I always, whoever's with me at the game holds, I hold on to them leaving the game because, first of all, I'm way down here and everyone else is way up here, and everyone just looks straight forward. So people don't think to look down and even notice me. So I am holding on to someone, to get through the crowd because people just don't care. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say they don't care. They're just unaware.
they're unaware.
They don't, because they don't have to think about things like we do. They don't look at their surroundings and all that. But that kind of brings me kind of talking about all this. So I know you've gotten very active in your local community back in New Mexico with support groups and things. So how do you encourage other survivors to not focus so much on what their personality was before the stroke or the TBI or whatever it may be, and embrace that new, to bring in that personality that was there? And I know some of that you just did get unwired because of the brain injury, but to find that personality and grow that personality and that confidence after your injury, how do you motivate?
I think it's just, everybody's different. But I try and just encourage others, and I do a lot at stroke rehab hospitals. So they're still inpatients. And I just want to be kind of the walking miracle that they can see
Mm-hmm.
that the struggle is hard at that point in time. But for them to understand the struggle that they're in right now is not forever. And I think sometimes when we're in that devastating role, we have a skewed point of view, and all we kind of have blinders on. And I think that's for any of us in a journey. We have our blinders on. If we can just take the blinders off and look at things with a broader and brighter view, I've learned to have a perspective of gratefulness, and that has really helped me with my outlook. And it doesn't change my physical disability, but having a perspective of gratefulness definitely changes your outlook on things, and that can truly change your whole picture. So I just encourage others when I'm talking to them to realize that the current struggle that you're in is not going to be forever. So make your plans, make your goals, and make baby goals.
Sure.
Start with with the baby goals and start with the big goals and have a bucket list. Um, it might take a long time to get to your bucket list. I have lots of bucket lists. And, I may or may not achieve them, but the bucket lists are what keeps us going.
Sure.
And that's important, for all of us to have that. And I love that there's more and more stroke support groups. And I think that we need to recognize that many of the stroke support groups aren't as occupied as we want them to be because caregivers are tired. And so many of us do need to depend on others. And we need to realize that it is just as hard on the survivor as it is on the families of the survivors and the caregivers. And, if those around us could realize that when something tragic like this happens, it affects the whole family and everybody's tired. So families could get the support of friends and loved ones. I depend on friends a lot now, and I learned so much about vulnerability through this. I used to think that by being vulnerable, I wouldn't have friends, and no one would understand, and no one would like me anymore. And then I realized that I can't control other people's emotions towards me and how everybody thinks. I can only control myself. But by being vulnerable, I might get support, I might get connection, and I also got understanding. And I depend on friends now to take me to the doctor appointments and stroke support groups, which relieves my family. And I think sometimes we need to do that. We need to relieve our families from that stress and give them the respite.
Yeah, that's so true. I'm going to take a quick little break and remind our listeners out there to go ahead and click that like button while you're listening, click that share button, click that subscribe button, and click that notify button if you're watching us on YouTube so you continue to get reminded. And now back to Lori. So I love what you're saying about relying on friends instead of family as you grow. And it, again, that takes some of that confidence to learn what your abilities are, what you need, and what was probably one of the hardest things for me after my stroke, that ability to learn how to ask for help.
Yes.
Because I was very, very independent in the beginning. I still think that I am. And I don't asking people to reach stuff off the top shelf is no big deal, but asking for real help
Yes.
is a big deal.
Yes.
But I think stroke support groups and organizations like ours are what help us grow regrow that personality and that confidence, because we feel in the beginning, we feel so, I don't know what the word is, unsure. But the more you get around like-minded individuals, other people that have a brain injury, other people that understand, because again, our caregivers, our friends don't understand. They can empathize,
Right.
but they don't understand. So
They
it's
don't
it's
have
a
a
hard,
brain injury,
yeah,
so
it's hard to do. So
Absolutely. And I think we all like to be in control. I was sharing with my husband recently that I remember my memories coming back slowly of things in the hospital when I had my brain injury. That I used to love the ice machine when I was in rehab. And I think it's the one thing I had control over when I had control over nothing, but I could press the button for the ice machine. And I think we all like control over things. And for those of us that were all independent and then drastically life changed with something like a stroke or a traumatic brain injury, we immediately lost that control. And so when we have to ask a friend to do things, that's our lack of control. And that is hard for each of us. In order to come to this trip to Texas right now, I have a friend traveling with me. And, I'm so grateful that she said yes, but I would much rather be able to be independent and drive myself and stay by myself. But that's not the safest thing to do, and I know that. And so I've just learned, I have a passion to share and encourage others, and this is what I need to do in order to do that.
Yeah, so you're talking about encouraging others and people understanding and that you had challenges. So with the challenges comes opportunities. So were you able to do that, or how did your challenges help you gain more opportunities?
I think it's just looking outside the box and really pushing yourself to find those opportunities. I love sharing in my stroke community because I'm with my people, my peeps that get me. It's my comfort zone. I love sharing at retreats and churches and I share a lot about choices and challenges and not getting stuck, and the importance of community and friendship and marriage and commitment. My husband and I were just shy of our 5th-year wedding anniversary when this happened, and we're now going on 27 years. And so I talk about the importance of marriage, but to share in the stroke community is so important to me, and I'm very passionate about just encouraging those that have gone through what I've gone through, just to give them the encouragement to never give up.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love that. And that's, I mean, it truly is. I feel like when the clubhouse started 7, 8 years ago, there was very little brain injury community. And I feel like as over time, as we've grown, how much more the general public is learning about the brain injury community and how much all the rehab facilities are working together more as a community and just collaborating more and doing more and getting the awareness out there, which is a big thing we haven't had. I mean, we're lucky that we had our brain injuries when we did, because 40 years ago they just shoved us in a mental institution and said,
Right.
Yeah.
you're done.
Absolutely. And that's a big, I appreciate you bringing that up. A big part of this is the stroke awareness for those in the community that are perfectly healthy, because we were healthy prior to our strokes. And for me, at age 29, I had no idea the signs of a stroke. And so I'm very active in the community in May and October during Stroke Awareness Months, just to let the community know the signs of stroke, and let others know what to be aware of.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, so one of the other things you talked about is everyone wants to feel supported, understood, and loved and listened to. How do you take the time, or how do you adopt that idea? You know, how do you get others to understand? I need you to listen a little better, or notice a little better.
I think sometimes you just have to tell them, it's important. I need this from you. And to be a good listener yourself. I find that same thing with the doctors and the medical personnel. They get so used to going. I've had to say, please just stop and listen to me. I'm a real person, and these are my goals. And I think sometimes we just need to step out of our comfort zone and not worry about hurting feelings, and just say, this is what I need from you. And I am a people pleaser, so that's really, really hard for me. But, it goes both ways. Sometimes we just need to do the same. I'm a big card writer, and I'm a big gift giver. That's my love language. And so I send a lot of gifts to people and a lot of cards to people, because I try and do to others what I needed and I never got. And, sometimes you might never get what you need, but you can be that vessel to someone else.
I love that.
So, what's next for you?
So I'm continuing to write. I have a 52 chapter book that I'm working on that's going to be like my book choices, but it will talk about more of the emotional side that what I've learned on my journey of healing, and it's going to deal with our identity and our self-confidence and finding our new normal. I'm still working on that. And then I'm going to be starting a children's book series with another author, with my service dog as the main character.
Oh, that's so exciting.
His name's Maverick. He's a year and a half old now, and he's a German Shepherd Husky. But I want to teach children how to accept others that aren't like themselves, that might have a disability or an illness. Because I think if we could start with the children, the adults would understand better. And so Maverick's going to find the family. He's going to become a service dog. He's going to learn his manners. And so that's going to be coming out in the near future.
I think that's so awesome, because children are so understanding. I mean, if you just explain, because I know, little kids always look at my AFO and I'm like, do I say something? Do I not say something? I just let it go.
Dog.
Yeah.
When he's decked out, they're like, oh, a police dog. So,
Oh,
so I hope to get that series out and start going into the school.
Kids are fun to talk to about, because they do ask me about it, and then I have to not tell them the horrific things. It's like, oh well, I hurt my head, I have a brain injury, and so they kind of ask more questions. And I tell them why, and so then they understand. So it's like good learning experience for kids to start young.
Absolutely. especially because kids can be really mean to each other.
Mhm.
They don't understand, and kids desperately need friends, and especially with kids with disabilities or kids with an illness, they need to be accepted. And so, if we can ensure that and help that, I'd like to be a part of that community.
Well, Lori, thank you so much for coming back and joining us. I'm glad you reached out so we could get to figure out where you are now. And I'm sure we'll have you back on later in life. I want to talk to you when the books are done, and I want the Maverick book.
Okay.
I'm putting in my pre-order now. But thank you again for joining us, and thank you to all for listening.
And then if you would like to contact us, you can email us at bindwaves@thebind.org. Follow us on Instagram at bindwaves and visit our website, thebind.org/bindwaves.
And again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platform. Also hit notify on YouTube while you're listening to Bindwaves.
Yep. You can also find all our new episodes on all your favorite platforms, so don't forget.
So until next time.
Until next time.
We hope you've enjoyed listening to Bind Waves and continue to support Bind and our nonprofit mission.
We support brain injury survivors as they reconnect into the life, the community, and their workplace.
And we couldn't do that without great listeners like you. We appreciate each and every one of you. Continue watching. Until next time.
Until next time.